Caught my wife sneaking out of the hospital room to meet her affair partner while I was on a ventilator. What I did next destroyed both their lives. I never thought I'd be writing this, but I need to document what happened. Maybe it'll help someone else who finds themselves betrayed when they're most vulnerable. 6 weeks ago, I was on top of the world. Holden, 34, aerospace engineer working on classified satellite guidance systems. Good money, nice house in Austin, married to Brianna for 7 years. We were even talking about kids. I thought we had it all figured out. Then my body decided to humble me. It started during a critical satellite launch prep. 18-hour days were normal for me, but that Tuesday was different. The chest pain hit like someone parked a truck on my sternum. Within hours, I went from debugging code to being intubated. Acute myocarditis, basically, a virus I didn't even know I had decided to attack my heart muscle. 0 to ventilator in 48 hours. The doctors used words like critical and touch and go. I was conscious but couldn't speak with a tube down my throat. Every breath was a machine-assisted struggle. But I could see. I could hear. And most importantly, I could think. Brianna's visits followed a pattern. Every day, 2 p.m. sharp. 30 minutes exactly. She'd sit there, hold my hand for maybe 5 minutes, then spend the rest scrolling her phone. Work emergencies, she'd mouth to me apologetically. I understood. She was a pharmaceutical sales rep, demanding job, lots of pressure. Her income wasn't much, but I appreciated that she was holding it together while I was down. Day 8 changed everything. She left at 2:30 p.m. as usual, saying she'd grab coffee from the cafeteria. Through the glass door, I had a partial view of the hallway. That's when I saw her, my wife, wearing the red cocktail dress she'd bought for our anniversary but claimed was too much when the day actually came. She was meeting someone just beyond my sightline. The body language said everything. The way she touched his arm. The way she leaned in. The quick glance back at my room before they walked away together. My heart monitor spiked. A nurse rushed in, concerned. I controlled my breathing, forced myself to calm down. Played it off as a bad dream. But inside, something had crystallized. The fog of medication and pain sharpened into absolute clarity. I started paying attention. She'd return at 6 p.m., supposedly from the cafeteria, smelling different. New perfume layered over cologne that wasn't mine. Her lipstick reapplied but slightly smudged. Hair reorganized but not quite right. Details a dying man notices when he has nothing to do but observe. Day 15 brought confirmation. Rodney, a friend who worked as a nurse on the cardiac floor, stopped by during his break. Making conversation, he mentioned, "Saw your wife at the Marriott bar yesterday. Didn't know pharmaceutical folks did meetings there. She was with one of the regional directors, Vance something?" Vance Hutchinson. I knew the name. Regional director at her company. She'd mentioned him exactly twice, once complaining about his unrealistic quotas and once about him getting divorced. Funny how she left out the rest. The ventilator wouldn't let me speak, but my phone still worked. During rest periods, I had access to our shared cloud storage. Modern technology, she'd forgotten I had the password. The deleted photos were still in the trash folder. Brianna and Vance at conferences, at dinners, at hotels. Metadata doesn't lie. Half these photos were taken when she was supposedly at my bedside. One was timestamped during my emergency surgery. While I was fighting to breathe, she was planning her future without me. Update 1, posted 2 days later. The responses have been overwhelming. I'm going to continue while I have the energy. After discovering the photos, I had 3 weeks before my planned discharge to prepare. 3 weeks of pretending to be weaker than I was. 3 weeks of watching her perform the devoted wife act for the medical staff while knowing she was heading straight to him after each visit. My aerospace company provides executive legal services, one of the perks of working on classified projects. From my hospital bed, I made moves. First, I documented everything. Every photo, every timestamp, every pattern. My phone became my weapon. I recorded her visits, capturing her telling me she had to go handle work while texting someone named V in my peripheral vision. Second, money. We had joint accounts with roughly $340,000, most of it my savings from 7 years of aerospace work and stock options. I opened new accounts at 3 different banks. Every day, I transferred the maximum mobile limit as medical expense allocations. She never checked. Why would she? I was supposedly dying. Third, I hired a private investigator through my lawyer. Cost me $5,000, but what he found was priceless. Vance wasn't divorced. He was married to Serena, whose father was a federal judge in the Fifth Circuit, They'd been booking hotels on my credit card for 4 months. Brianna had taken out a $100,000 life insurance policy on me 6 months ago without telling me. Vance had promised her a senior position once her situation resolved itself. That last part hit different. My situation. My death was just an inconvenient delay in their timeline. The PI also pulled security footage from the hospital. Clear as day, Brianna and Vance in the parking garage, in the Marriott lobby, even in the hospital chapel, while I was coding 2 floors up. My lawyer had a field day. We quietly changed beneficiaries on everything. My $2 million life insurance through work, my 401k, my stocks. Everything went to my sister in Colorado. We drafted a new will. Ironclad. Brianna would get exactly what she deserved, nothing. But I wasn't done. Week 4, I told Brianna I was being discharged in 3 days. Gave her time to prepare the house for my return. She seemed thrilled, talking about how she'd take time off work to care for me. Her performance was Oscar-worthy. I actually arranged discharge for that evening. While she was at her book club, the PI confirmed she was at Vance's rental. I had movers clear out everything I'd paid for. Electronics, furniture, my grandfather's watch collection, even the espresso machine she loved. Left her stuff in neat piles. Left the divorce papers on the empty kitchen counter with a single house key and a note, "I know." Update 2, posted 1 week later. The explosion was immediate. She came home to an empty house and a locked door. I'd changed the locks after the movers left. Her key didn't work. Her calls went straight to voicemail. Her texts hit a brick wall. Her cards declined at the ATM. Then I started the systematic disclosure. Her parents got an email at 9 a.m. with security footage titled, "Why Your Daughter Really Stopped Visiting Me." The footage showed her and Vance in various compromising situations while I was fighting for my life. Her father, a retired Marine who'd always treated me like a son, called me within an hour. His exact words, "She's dead to me." Vance's wife Serena received a package via courier at her law firm at noon. Every photo, every receipt, every timestamp. The cover letter was simple: "Your husband has been having an affair with Brianna Morrison while my heart was failing." Attached as evidence. I CC'd her father, the federal judge. Their company's ethics hotline got an anonymous tip about 2 employees misusing company funds for personal relationships and falsifying expense reports. I included receipts for hotels charged to company cards during client meetings that never existed. But the masterstroke was social media. I didn't name names, didn't have to. Posted in our neighborhood Facebook group, "Recovering from Near-Death Experience." Grateful for everyone's support. Starting fresh after discovering heartbreaking betrayal during my hospitalization. If anyone needs recommendations for movers or divorce lawyers, happy to help. Our entire social circle knew within hours. Brianna's phone blew up. Her best friend called me directly, crying, saying she'd suspected something but never imagined Brianna would sink that low. The professional consequences were swift. Vance's wife filed for divorce within 48 hours. Her father's connections meant assets frozen immediately. The pharmaceutical company launched an investigation. Both were suspended pending review. Their access badges deactivated. Company laptops remotely wiped and recalled. Brianna tried showing up at my sister's apartment. She'd found the address somehow. Security wouldn't let her pass the lobby. She left 17 voicemails, each more unhinged than the last. The progression was fascinating. 1 to 5, confusion and demands for explanation. 6 to 10, anger and threats. 11 to 14, bargaining and promises to change. 15 to 17, pure panic about money and her job. I didn't respond to any of them. But I did save them. Evidence is evidence. Update 3, posted 2 weeks later. The final phase was the most satisfying. Remember that recording equipment I mentioned? Turns out, Texas is a one-party consent state for recordings. Every single visit she made while I was hospitalized, I recorded. The audio was crystal clear. Day 19, she told Vance over the phone, while sitting next to my dying body, "The doctor says maybe 2 more weeks. We just have to be patient. His life insurance is $2 million, and I get everything else. We can start fresh." Day 22, she actually practiced her grieving widow speech. "He was the love of my life. I don't know how I'll go on without him." Day 24, the worst one: "Once this is over and we get the money, we should take a trip to Europe. He always promised to take me but never did. Too focused on his stupid satellites, my stupid satellites. The ones that paid for her entire lifestyle." I sent these recordings to the insurance companies, both the one through my work and the one she'd taken out on me. They immediately flagged both policies for fraud investigation. Attempting to profit from a spouse's death while actively hoping for it? That's a federal crime. The forensic accountant my lawyer hired found more. She'd been siphoning money for months. Small amounts, $500 here, $1,000 there, into a private account. Total, $47,000. She'd also applied for credit cards in my name while I was unconscious, running up $30,000 in charges for designer goods shipped to Vance's address. Identity theft. Wire fraud. Insurance fraud. The FBI's white-collar crime division got interested. Vance's situation imploded spectacularly. Serena's father didn't just want a divorce, he wanted destruction. Turned out Vance had been embezzling from the pharmaceutical company to fund his lifestyle. The investigation Brianna and I triggered opened that box. He wasn't just losing his marriage, he was looking at prison time. The company fired both of them with cause. No severance. No references. Blacklisted from the industry. Brianna's nursing degree from a decade ago? Expired. She'd have to start from scratch. They tried to move in together, two cheaters with nothing left but each other. Except Vance's assets were frozen, and Brianna had no income. They lasted exactly 3 weeks before the landlord evicted them for non-payment. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming. My condition was downgraded from critical to serious after week 2. The doctors told me this, but they agreed to maintain the appearance of critical status at my request. It was medically ethical, I was still very sick, but psychologically, I needed to see how far she'd go. She went all the way. Final update, posted 1 month later. I'm writing this from my new apartment in downtown Austin. Minimalist. Clean. Everything I need, nothing I don't. The divorce was finalized in record time. Abandonment and adultery with evidence means Texas moves fast. My health is improving daily. The myocarditis left some scarring, but nothing that stops me from living. If anything, it taught me to appreciate every breath that's actually mine. My aerospace company didn't just keep me on, they promoted me. The publicity around my story, it went viral on LinkedIn after a colleague shared it, brought me job offers from SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Lockheed. I stayed loyal to my company, but negotiated remote work and a 40% raise. Turns out, nearly dying makes you an excellent negotiator. Brianna works at a call center now. $15 an hour, no benefits. She lives with her cousin in a 1-bedroom apartment. She still emails me occasionally, alternating between apologies and accusations. I don't read them anymore. My lawyer handles everything. Vance took a plea deal. 18 months in federal prison, 3 years probation. Serena took everything in the divorce, the house, the cars, even his vintage guitar collection. She sent me a thank you card, actually. Classy woman. We don't talk, but there's a mutual respect. The money I protected? It's growing. I invested most of it, kept some for medical expenses, and started a foundation for cardiac patients whose families abandon them during treatment. It's small, but it helps. People ask if I regret being so ruthless. If I feel guilty about destroying 2 lives so thoroughly. I tell them this, when you're on a ventilator, every breath is calculated. The machine does the work, but you make the choice to keep going. She made her choice while I was making mine. She chose betrayal while I chose survival. She chose another man while I chose to become a better one. I don't feel guilty. I feel free. The scarring on my heart isn't just from the myocarditis. But unlike her, I'm still breathing. And every breath I take is one she'll never steal from me again. To anyone reading this who's been betrayed, document everything. Protect yourself legally. Don't announce your moves. Strike when they least expect it. And remember, the best revenge isn't just living well. It's ensuring they live with the consequences of their choices. My grandfather used to say, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. I had to see it from a hospital bed, but I'll never unsee it. And neither will anyone else who knows her. Sometimes the heart has to stop working properly to show you who's worth keeping in your life. Mine almost stopped completely. But when it started beating again, it beat for me alone. And that's exactly how it should be. Edit, since many asked, yes, this is real. Yes, I have receipts. No, I won't share them for legal reasons. And to the person who messaged saying they think they know Brianna, you probably do. Austin's pharma community isn't that big. And yes, she really is that calculatingly cold when she thinks nobody's watching. Final edit, to those saying I went too far, You didn't hear her practicing her eulogy while I was still alive. You didn't see her shopping for black dresses online while sitting next to my hospital bed. You didn't watch her text her affair partner about my life insurance while I was coding. There's no such thing as too far when someone plans to profit from your death. I just made sure she got what she planned for, a life without me. Just not the way she wanted it. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.